This lovely kite might seem like an innocent children's toy, but in reality, it's a deadly weapon that can be used to slaughter hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians. At least, that's what the Chinese government would have you believe. You see, yesterday, I uploaded a video about the history of bombing raids. For example, did you know in 1849, the first ever bombing raid was attempted by the Austrians using hot air balloons. It failed. However, about a minute of that video's runtime had to be redacted because I realised my information was false. Wikipedia claims that the first ever bombing raids were used for kites. Apparently, the Song dynasty invented something called the fire crow, where you basically strap gunpowder to kites, fly them over the enemy defences, and blow stuff up with it. I checked the source and it was a magazine called China Reconstructs. China Reconstructs. Foreshadowing. My suspicion really got going when I found out that that magazine was actually written and published by the Chinese government. Now, I couldn't find a free version of the magazine online, which is a shame because I found so many volumes of China Reconstructs for free on the Internet Archive, but I couldn't find this one for some reason. However, while Google Books doesn't give me a free version, the person who linked the source on Wikipedia kindly typed in Firecrow into the magazine, so I knew which page to read. On page 41 it talks about the Firecrow. But here's the thing, the Chinese government definitely has an incentive to lie about this, okay? If the Firecrow is real, it's that thing you strap gunpowder to, then that means that China invented bombing raids before anybody else, and that means that China has always been a very advanced country. And of course the Chinese government wants to push that narrative, so that's what they're going to put. They also claim that in 500 BCE, some Chinese philosopher developed a version of the kite in his concept art, but they didn't make it for 1500 years. However, while they do have a motive to lie about this, I'm going to give China the benefit of the doubt here. This doesn't have all the key signs of being biased that I normally look for. It doesn't make any of the most obscene claims ever that could never, ever be true, and in theory, if they used the Firecrow a lot, this could be verified by multiple different surviving accounts. Just one problem, Wikipedia does not have an existing article for Firecrow for some reason. I googled Firecrow, absolutely nothing came up. I googled Firecrow Song Dynasty, because that was apparently the thing that invented it. Nothing. Nothing. I read so many articles about all the inventions that have been made by the Song Dynasty. Never did I hear anything about the Firecrow. I can only assume then that the Chinese government just chose to make this up for some reason. Listen, magazines are not known for being credible sources. The Chinese government is not known for being a credible source. When you put them together, you get the gruesome twosome, you get the terrible 2-0. However, what I was curious about was the Chinese philosopher called Mozi, who apparently dreamed up the kite, like in 500 BC for some reason. Apparently Mozi invented something called the wooden hawk, which based on its description must be a kite. So I went to Mozi's Wikipedia article, found nothing on the wooden hawk. But maybe they just chose not to mention it. So I found on the Internet Archive the complete works of Mozi. I obviously can't read 700 pages, but I used the search function and typed in wooden hawk. Now, the word wooden appeared a lot in there, because he was talking about wood. However, never in his entire works did he write anything about the wooden hawk. Therefore, I can only assume the Chinese government was also lying or making stuff up about that, because even in the complete works of Mozi, I couldn't find anything written about the wooden hawk, some dumb kite. And the Song Dynasty invented a lot of stuff, okay? China's, technologically wise, China for most of its history has been quite an advanced civilization, so I'm not sure why you lot felt the need to, make stuff up. Like, just Google crazy inventions invented by the Song Dynasty. Oh, wait a second, I get it. Google is blocked in your country. But that's not the only lie that didn't make the final cut of the video. Now, I was thinking about splitting this second lie into a second video, but on the other hand, I don't have to milk this too much. What am I milking though? I don't make money off this channel. But apparently in the 1600s there was a king in Thailand called Fetwacha who would strap barrels of gunpowder to kites, fly them over the walls of enemy defences, and blow stuff up with them. Now the first question I had was, how the hell did he manage to strap gunpowder barrels to kites? How large would the kite have to be to ever be able to carry that kind of weight? Average gunpowder barrel weighs 100 pounds. Okay, even if we were really generous and made the thing weigh 25 pounds, I highly doubt a kite could carry it. Also, if there was a weapon so effective, then I imagine it would have been used more often. But what's the source on this information, okay? Surely the source is credible. Well, Wikipedia gets plagiarized a lot. There are so many Wikipedia articles and so many plagiarisms in Wikipedia, and all of them make the claim about the gunpowder thing, and they all cite the exact same source. Another article. Okay then, well, where does the article cite a source? Well, it's a book. A book that definitely exists. It's a book that exists on Google Books. It's a book about the history of kites, okay? So while the book exists, I can't find it anywhere. Okay, I cannot find it on the Internet Archive. Google Books does not give me a preview. Google Books doesn't even have a search function, so I can't Google King Fetwacha, okay? WorldCat is a website where you can type in a book, and it'll tell you the nearest library to you that holds that book in the world. Not even WorldCat could find the book, so apparently it's not even in a single library in the world, okay? This book is hard to find, so I'm obviously not going to be able to find it, okay? So as for the claim that, you know, people use gunpowder barrels and flew them over city walls using kites, well, I'm going to go put that a maybe on that one. It's an extremely unrealistic claim and I can't find the original source. But it could be true depending on how large the kite was and how large the gunpowder barrel was. I'm going to say probably not for now, but if anybody has a copy or can find me a copy of the book that whose title is displayed on screen now because I can't remember the title, then please tell me and, you know, tell me if you could find the kite thing claim in the book and exactly how valid you think the claim is. There's a lot of disinformation out there. Do not let it engulf you. Check your sources properly, kids.